People were afraid to go outside. People were afraid of everything.
The date was July 3rd, 1992.
There had been a murder, an innocent woman. Nobody could figure out who, why it happened, and still don't. Still don't know why, still don't know who.
The innocent woman was murdered in an alley next to a place many believe to be sacred and holy.
The whole town was turned upside down.
The victim was Aggie Albert, the beloved aunt of Becky Beckstoffer. The 69-year-old's body was found outside the Sacred Heart Catholic Church in Covington, a church she was devoted to, a place she loved dearly.
She was there pretty much daily. She would turn the lights off every night, lock the church up at night. It was kind of her daily routine.
Those who knew her describe Aggie as joyful, always wearing a smile on her face.
She was huge in the community and just the happiest person that you would ever want to meet. Her love for her church, her devotion to God just radiated from her every second of every day.
Her death, hard on the community.
I was working actually across the street from where she was murdered, and it devastated the entire community. It was just absolutely devastating.
The days, weeks, and even the first year that followed were a time of not just heartbreak, but of fear for Becky's family.
It was pretty awful. Through the first anniversary, they got phone calls saying it's time to kill another sister.
She describes bizarre scenarios that played out.
Just everything, letters and phone calls and just kind of threatening or warning them, and it kept them on edge. They were scared all the time.
Becky's way of coping is to solve her aunt's murder. She spent the last 27 years investigating the case herself.
I don't have a choice. You know, I don't have a choice. I mean, you just have to keep wanting it solved.
This binder holds all of her extensive work in the case.
It's on my mind all the time. I watch a show, I read an article, it'll trigger something for me, and I'll make a phone call, or I'll look at a website, and it's always there. Sometimes it's there in the front of my brain, and sometimes it's in the back of my brain, but it never goes away.
Becky's even shared some of her work with the special agents assigned to the case. As for their investigation, Virginia State Police are tight-lipped and protective of what they have. Theories of who killed Aggie Albert have been shared in the Covington community for decades.
I have strong feelings of who I think did it, but I'm not going to voice my opinion. A lot of people have strong feelings of who they think did it, and we just have to figure it out.
Investigators tell me they have a handful of persons of interest and refuse to focus only on one person. They're following every lead and will not cross off any possible suspects until the evidence clears them. That evidence coming potentially as soon as they get back results from recently submitted DNA from the lab. It could finally crack the case.
Ecstatic. I would just be, I don't know, ecstatic. I would be in awe.
Finally bringing peace to the Covington community.
Every time I go by the church, I think of her. And what an injustice it is that nothing has ever been resolved.
And peace to Becky and her family.
What burns me up is that this person's been free for 27 years. You know, how dare they get a life and she didn't?